Welcome to our video on how to spend 3 awesome days in Vietnam. We're going to give you a breakdown of all our costs, what we spent on what, and take you day by day to the places that we visited so you can get the best of your 3 days when visiting Vietnam. There's 3 main international airports in Vietnam, and it's likely that you'll fly into one of these depending whereabouts in Vietnam you're travelling to. We stayed in Hanoi, which is the capital of Vietnam, and flew into Noi Bai Airport. And to get into Hanoi from Noi Bai Airport will take you around 40-50 minutes depending on where you're staying and how you decide to travel there. However, we booked a grab taxi once we got through security from inside the airport to our hotel, which, if you've seen any of our other videos of our travels around Asia, is by far the most popular mode of transport because of the convenience. And if you've never heard of Grab before, it's basically the Asian equivalent to Uber. You can visit Vietnam all year round, but we'd recommend visiting here in the months of November to April, as there's less humidity and the weather's a little bit cooler and drier. We came here in March and stayed at this hotel called the Romantique Hotel de Hanoi, which is a 4-star hotel, and as you can see, it has everything you need. It's got a big double bed, TV, tea, coffee making facilities, and it has to be said that the water pressure from the shower in this hotel was excellent too. And that cost us, at the time of recording, £46 a night, and I'll convert that into the screen into different currencies for you. And that included breakfast, which is really good value for money. They are the less expensive places to stay, and more expensive places as well, depending on your budget. We arrived here in the afternoon, so technically we can call this day 1, although it was only half a day, but we'll put that together with the other half day we had on day 4 to make it a full day, which gives us our 3 days. Anyway, I do digress, and to make the most of our time here, we dropped our bags off and headed out for a look around the area. Depending where you come from, it may or may not be a shock to you regarding the amount of traffic that there is here, especially the motorbikes, which I'm sure you'll be aware of. And when we first got here, it did feel a bit of a free-for-all when crossing the roads, but you've just got to try and time it, pick an opening and go for it, basically. Not far from the hotel was this cathedral, which was recommended to us to visit, and if you're into cathedrals and they're your cup of tea, then you're in luck, because this one's free to enter and it's open daily. It's called St. Joseph's Cathedral and was good because after our first experience of the traffic, I felt that I needed to say a little prayer that we wouldn't get run over while staying here. But you'll be fine, you'll get used to the traffic after a while. An island in the sky, as it's known, or by its proper name, Hanoi Sky, which is the next stop that we're going to in this bustling capital city of Hanoi. And again, we booked another grab taxi from the app on our phone, and it come within a couple of minutes, and we were on our way to Hanoi Sky, which is situated in the Lotte Centre. Once you get here, you'll need to take the underground, which you can do so by this escalator to get your tickets. And then once you've picked up your ticket, you get to take the designated elevator, which is a really cool animation on the ceiling as you travel up to the 65th floor. It's open daily between 9 in the morning until midnight, and it's a popular tourist attraction. And although we booked our tickets when we arrived, it might be worth booking in advance. And a little tip for you is to come between 5 and 6 at night, and that way you can get to watch the beautiful sunset and enjoy the night views afterwards. Once you get onto the 65th floor, this tower, you'll get to see the 360-degree panoramic views. It's got 2 different observation decks with a glass floor opposite sides of the building, and when or if you decide to stand on this, you'll be at a height of 267 metres. The cost, if you wanted to do this activity, was 230,000 dong. And I'll convert that onto the screen into all the different currencies. And as we go through this video, I'll break down the costs for you into the different days and give you a total for what it cost us for each day here in Vietnam, and a total for the final cost for the 3-day trip, which might be useful for you. Just bear in mind that we did this on a really tight budget, and we still got to see everything that we wanted to see, so it's it's definitely doable. It's a great place to come and relax for a couple of hours, and it has a nice bar where you can just sit and enjoy the views, as well as this virtual reality and gift shops, as well as plenty of opportunities to take photos and videos. And we'll just get a grab taxi back to somewhere near our hotel. And we were starting to get hungry, so we just stopped for a bite to eat by the side of the road at this restaurant where you get to pick your own pieces of meat, fish and vegetables, and you put it in the basket for the chef to cook and then take a seat, and once it's cooked they'll bring it over to you and you can keep it hot by using the wok. This wasn't far from our hotel, and I'll put on the screen now the total cost for the day, which is more likely to be significant higher for you depending where you're travelling to Vietnam from. Bearing in mind this was for 2 people, and I'll carry this on throughout the video for day 2, day 3 and the entire trip. So we're heading into day 2 now, and we start off the morning by having breakfast at the hotel, which has a mixture of continental and Asian style foods. There's plenty of fruit on offer, and I've got to say that the omelettes here were the best that I've tasted from any hotel that we've stayed. And after breakfast we headed to Ho Chi Minh Museum, or Museum as it's also known. And this place, just be aware that when we went anyway, it had some of the biggest queues that I've ever witnessed, so give yourself enough time, allow yourself maybe a couple of hours for the wait. I'm not sure if it's always like this or whether it was just because we come at the weekend. And inside the central hall of this museum you'll get to see the embalmed body of President Ho Chi Minh, which is preserved in the cooler, and it's protected by military honour guards. There's a strict no photo and video policy as well in this part of the museum, and it's not worth even attempting it, because we tried it and we got marched off into an office by one of the soldiers and got told to delete. Well, they took our phones off us and looked for any photos or videos that we took and deleted them. And luckily we didn't get into too much trouble. Don't take photos and videos in here. The opening hours of Ho Chi Minh Museum are between 7:30 in the morning and 5 o'clock in the evening, and it's open from 7 days a week, including national holidays. The ticket price to get in here is 30,000 Vietnamese dong per person, which I'll convert on the screen for you now as well. And then moving on from here, you can walk around where Ho Chi Minh stayed during his presidency of Vietnam, and you get to see the cars that he owned and the house that he lived in, which was a house he built, kind of designed himself, I believe, and it was a house on stilts that overlooked the nice pond with all the lovely fish. And there's a few souvenir shops around here where we bought a couple of the Vietnamese looking hats to blend in like the locals and not look too out of place. As you can see, I think it worked. Then following on from here, just a short walk away, is the famously known One Pillar Pagoda, and the most unique pagoda in Asia apparently. The pagoda looks like a lotus flower, which also happens to be the national flower of Vietnam. And then we headed over to the Temple of Literature, which was just another short grab taxi away to have a look around, which was the first university complex in Vietnam. Not only is it a cultural and historic relic, it's also when many students come to pray for luck in their upcoming exams and studies. And I've covered this place more on our Day 2 video on Vietnam. If you're interested and want to find out more information about this place, feel free to check that one out. And the next place we went was towards the vicinity of Hanoi Walking Street, which is located around the Hoan Kiem Lake. And this is a really great place to come, and we really enjoyed it. It does get very busy, although there's no traffic between the I think between Friday and Sunday, isn't it? Yeah, the streets get blocked off in the evening just for pedestrians, and it's one of the most vibrant and bustling places to come in Hanoi. Every weekend it comes alive with a wide range of entertainment options, musical performances. It's also got a lot of delicious street food in there as well. And amidst the busy and bustling streets of Hanoi, Walking Street, there's a place called Ngoc Son Temple, and that's just on a small islet connected by the Hook Bridge, which is the big red bridge you're often seeing a lot of the Vietnamese brochures and whatnot. It's quite an iconic icon of Vietnam. The temple welcomes tourists all day from 7 in the morning till 6 at night, and it's definitely worth a visit if you're in the area, or even if you just want to get away from the busy streets of Hanoi. It's just a nice place you can walk around for half hour just to go and chill out for a little bit. And no trip to Hanoi is complete without trying some of the local dishes and desserts, and I'm not sure what the name of this dish was called, but it came with a side dish of ice, and Fang really enjoyed it. And then we tried something which Fang wasn't too keen on trying, but I managed to get her on one, and it was this taxi bike that took us back to our hotel. And that wraps it up, I'd say, for day 2 now. And this is the total running costs for what we spent. And again, this is for 2 people. It was a relatively cheap day, I'd say, compared to the first. And now we shall head into day 3. So we started off the day by getting picked up by our tour guide for the day. It was a lovely man called Robert. I'm not sure if that was his real name or that was just his English name for us tourists. I think his Thai name was a little bit, not Thai, Vietnamese name was a little bit difficult to pronounce. And he's going to take us on a tour by this bus that we booked on day 1 to a place called Halong Bay, which is a very famous place to come and visit in Vietnam. It's located in northeast Vietnam, and it's known for its emerald waters and thousands of towering limestone islands topped by rainforest. Although you can't see it too clearly today because the weather isn't great, but on a clearer day you'll be able to see the lush greenery that tops these islands. And to get to Halong Bay from Hanoi, it takes approximately 2.5 to 3 hours to get there. It's about 163 kilometres, which converts to about 101 miles. You have the option to travel by more luxurious means should you wish. There's 5-star cruises that take you around from anything from a day to a week should you wish. And they've also got options of seeing this amazing place by air too, by using one of the seaplanes as well as motorbikes and private cars. But we were happy with this tour and we had an awesome time and met some really nice people on it as well. And as well as taking in the amazing scenery, we got a chance to do some of the activities on offer here. We did a bit of kayaking, which Fang particularly enjoyed, even though she can't swim. She felt safe knowing that I've got my 50-metre gold swimming badge.
Faster.
There are quite a few different activities that you can do here, such as scuba diving, hiking, and caving as well. And there's some amazing caves in this area. And this one was advertised as one of the most beautiful and spectacular caves in the world. And we've seen a few caves in our time, and this has to be up there with one of the best that we've seen so far. Just be aware, though, that if you have got any health issues, that it might be worth giving this one a miss, because it is at an altitude of 360 metres above sea level, and it's a bit of a walk to get up there. So just be aware of that, basically. And yeah, that's pretty much it for day 3. I mean, this was an awesome tour, and this tour actually was extremely good value for money. We booked it online and it cost £71.50, which I'll convert into the different currencies. And it also stopped at a famous place in Halong Bay for pearls, ironically called the World of Pearls. And you got the opportunity to purchase pearls, which are apparently a lot cheaper here than what they are in other places around the world. And you get to see how they're cultivated, but as this is just a whirlwind tour of the 3 days that we spent in Vietnam, I'm not going to go too in depth about Halong Bay in this video. However, those of you who know me by now won't be surprised to know that I've done a video specifically on Halong Bay. Should you want to see how we spent the full day here, you can check that out on our channel. So again, this was a very cheap day because the food was included in this tour, although we did pop out on the evening for a meal with a nice couple that we met on the tour for a bite to eat, and when we got back to Hanoi. And I'll give you the cost for day 3 now. I'll put that on the screen for you. Bearing in mind, again, this is for 2 people, and we head into our last day here, which you might be thinking, well, you've had 3 days already, but if we class the first day as half a day and today's half a day, then that will indeed give us 3 full days. And with just a few hours left in the morning to do something before we got our flight back to Bangkok, we decided to go and see a couple more of the wonderful temples here in Hanoi. The first one being this one called Tran Quoc Pagoda, which was just a short grab taxi ride from our hotel, and it's located on a small peninsula on the east side of Hanoi West Lake. It's regarded as the most ancient pagoda in Hanoi, with its history line dating back to more than 1500 years. And one thing that I really do love about looking around these beautiful temples in Asia is the unique and wonderful architecture and the craftsmanship. It's something to be admired. And then it was on to the next temple, which was just a short walk away, called Quan Temple, which was formerly known as Tran Temple and is a Taoist temple in Hanoi. You can find a 4-metre tall bronze statue of Saint Tran Vu holding a snake and a turtle. It's the second largest bronze statue in Vietnam and considered a masterpiece of Vietnamese bronze casting and sculpture. It's open from 8 in the morning until 5 in the evening, and it costs you 10,000 dong to enter. Although this may not float everyone's boat, and as we head back now to Noi Bai Airport for our flight back to Bangkok, we can reflect a little bit on our time here. And to me, Vietnam, or any place for that matter, is all about what you want to do and finding your space to enjoy it. Consider taking this time to do something outside of your comfort zone. Go for that massage you've always promised yourself, or try that food that you never thought you could eat. Even if it's just a good story to tell your friends back home, the main thing is that you enjoy yourself, because that's what travelling's all about. And we hope that we can inspire you to get out there and do some travelling of your own. Thank you. We like to do as much as possible when travelling, and although we've packed a lot into these few days, we know that's not for everyone, so adjust yourself to whatever pace or schedule that suits you. Just take the ideas you like and forget the ones that you didn't. And with that being said, let's take a look at what all this would cost, the total cost for these 3 days in Vietnam. And we'd love you to carry on the journey with us to our next destination, which is South Korea. And you can click on the right hand video for that, or the left hand video for our latest video release. So I guess all that's left to say is give that bell a ding, give us a like and a comment, all that sort of YouTubey stuff. And we shall see you on the next video.